What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to give you an overview of some of the current data points, break it down on why it is getting so much hype and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Faraday did go up 11.43%. Pre-market, it went to a high of roughly around 304. During the trading day, 295. And for my pre-market video under this channel, I did cover Faraday because it was the most heavily traded stock at that time. So once again, a lot of big money is really looking at it. So I want to go over some of the reasons why. But today there was 27.09 million shares being traded. 10.17 is the average. No actual news from Faraday itself today. No SEC filings. Rather, it is just this news that came out yesterday that people are still very much hyped over, in addition to one thing. But like I said in my video yesterday, everything out there. So if you guys search it, you'll see a kind of a news agency from Australia, from the Philippines. Everyone somehow is talking and relating to this in some way or another. So this news maybe is a lot bigger than what I previously did kind of estimate, even though we don't really have that much information in regards to Grow Fandor, if I'm saying that right. But still, yeah, honestly, this might be a pretty good piece of news. But I think in reality, what is really alluring a lot of investors to Faraday is a lot of articles coming out saying that Palantir disclosed that they have a position in Faraday. So for a person that has no knowledge of Faraday or anything, if they see that, especially Palantir and how it has been running like a absolute beast, yeah, why wouldn't they look at Faraday, right? No different than what happens with NVIDIA. NVIDIA discloses that they have a position in a stock, and that stock runs up like a beast. So no different than Palantir. Palantir is on a complete tear upwards. So yeah, if they invest in a company, why wouldn't other people do so? So I think this is why you are seeing a lot of attention towards Faraday. But in my opinion, I think it is just very misleading. And the reasoning is because obviously Faraday's paying them with stock for their debt. Again, Palantir did invest early on with Faraday, but Faraday obviously didn't really live up to the promises. Palantir sued them and went to arbitration, and then Faraday ended up losing. So Faraday is just paying their debt with stock. Again, it's how you read an article and the context behind it. So a lot of people, I think, are just looking at Faraday because of that point. But like I said, for a lot of us people that kind of know the intricate details of that, it's just payment of debt. And so yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Some people might like it, some people might not. In reality, I think that Faraday does need to put out something substantial and just not future promises, and then the stock will be able to propel higher, because all the data points that has been coming out has been absolutely strong as hell, with the exception of today, just CPI. So today you had CPI both on a month-over-month and year-over-year basis, a little bit hotter than anticipated. Same goes for initial jobless claims. Luckily enough, that didn't really affect this all too much. So the likelihood of a 25 basis point cut didn't really get changed. So now there's a roughly about 82.3% likelihood of that occurring. And then for the December 18th meeting, you have that other 25 basis point cut, most likely. So I think all in all, pretty good stuff. When it comes down to this, so shorts did increase 213,000 shares. 34.84% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 4.27 million shares. So this is the point where I do admit I was wrong, because I've been covering Faraday and I've been saying that most likely this is incorrect, only because there is a lot of dilution happening behind the scenes and blah blah, which again could happen. We haven't been disclosed by Faraday, but there's 2 times per month when the nasdaq does disclose the true amount of shares being shorted. So on October the 8th, they did disclose that as of September the 29th, there was 4.37 million shares overall are being shorted, and that works out to be 35.59% of the free float. Once again, yes, there could be dilution happening, but a lot more shares are being shorted than what I previously did estimate. So a change of 23.62%. So yeah, this is a very interesting stock. Like I said, I don't trust management, just for full transparency, but at least it is moving in the right direction and seems to have found a temporary bottom. But 358,000 in calls, 547,000 in puts. A lot of money was getting into Faraday through just this time period, and probably, if I was to make an educated guess, that was just shorts hedging as Faraday was running up. They're probably shitting themselves a little bit just in case Faraday was going to go on another run 2.0. But 47% of all the options being done today were bearish, and of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $3 range. Oddly, it looks like some people for the October 25th is assuming it'll be above 450. I'm not really sure why exactly they would be choosing this strike price, because I don't think anything is coming out pertaining to that. But looking at the puts, you see a consensus for it to be sub roughly around 250/3. So in my opinion, there's a little bit more upside anticipated. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So there has been two today. One for 106,000, the other one is for 570,000. So yeah, like I said, a lot of the articles that are coming out are really luring in a lot of big money. And right now with it at 273, it is trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and the pivot. So 403 is going to be the next strong resistance / target, and then $2.58 is going to be that next strong support. So yeah, Faraday seems to be doing somewhat good in the short term, and this is probably the first time that you have seen a bump up in the volume that probably isn't related to dilution. My own opinion, I could be wrong, but yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on Faraday. Have you guys been buying? Have you guys been selling? What is your guys' thoughts, for instance, on this recent news? And do you think Palantir is going to hold for the long term, or do you think that they're just going to kind of sell out? In my opinion, I actually do think that they might be unpopular opinion, but they actually might hold on to Faraday, even though the stock price has gone down quite a lot since they've actually been given the stock. But they invested in Faraday early on, so they do believe in Faraday, the tech, and like I kind of mentioned in the past, because of this recent hype, Faraday is getting, like, management is doing something. Might not be fully living up to all the promises, but they're actually doing something. So maybe Palantir might value that. And at the end of the day, Palantir is close to like $100 billion company. So they don't really care probably about this. This is just chump change to them. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you do like the channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships as well as this right here. So this promo does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So both of those options are in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you guys watching.